Well, everybody, welcome back to the Trick Podcast of Joy and Gozo TV on this beautiful Friday, as we like to call it here. Friday morning, it's 10:10 a.m. Pacific. Welcome back to my channel. Today, we're talking about how to have peace of mind in life. Man, who's ready for some peace of mind? So, by the way, my name is David Trigg, and I am here to bring you joy, Gozo, because though there's pain in the night, Gozo comes in the morning. Gozo obviously means joy in Spanish. And I'm also, by the way, introducing a brand new camera. Let's see if I can show it here, if it works. So here, this second. You joy and peace in these turbulent times. So one of the things, let me first ask you, leave me in the comments below, what brings you peace? Is it the Word of God? Is it nature? Is it church? Is it talking to a friend? What brings you peace? How to have peace of mind in life? I want to give you 5 tips. Number 1 is the power of relationship. Now, these days, you might think, well, we don't have any relationships. We can't even see each other, talk, go out to eat. And that is the reality, right, of probably all of this year, 2021. Well, I really want to encourage you to dive into 2 things. First, the power of calling. I know. Who likes to call anyone? No one. But that is powerful. One of the things that I've done the last few months is to call just some of my friends at night, when I'm happy, when I'm down, just to check in with someone. And that is very important. Number 2 is the power of conversation at home. Remember when we used to talk at home? So our kids obviously are older now, 22 and down. So they're young adults now. And my wife and I, we love each other. But one of the things that her and I do every morning is we spend time, what we call coffee time. Sometimes do it at night, right before we go to bed, sometimes in the morning. And we pray, we talk, we hold each other, we bless each other. Another thing that we do is the whole family, all 5 of us, including sometimes Daisy the dog and maybe even the bunny, we will talk at night because that's a great time to connect with family. So that's very important, to try to call each other, talk to each other, connect with each other. Number 2 is the power of going out. And so I know that we can't go out in the same ways that we used to, but you can still go for that famous walk, go hiking, help someone in need, go to maybe a virtual, or not a virtual, but maybe an outdoor event if it's safe in your area, and to try to get out. Obviously, if you're on Twitch, if you are online, we love to be here, right? And I have so many Twitch friends that literally will stream for 8-9 hours a day, and it can be a very successful and profitable business, and etc. But going outside, I sometimes will just go to my backyard and just play with Daisy the dog and just simply go out there and mow the lawn or go to the front and just take out the trash cans, adult stuff for me. But for you, it might be something as simple as going out to, maybe you're going to go to I don't know, to the movie theaters that you used to go to. And even though they're closed, you can just drive around maybe, and maybe even just consider and think and pray about your life. So that's number 2. Number 3 is the power of serving others, serving other people. And so I'm going to go to my story time cam and see if we got that going here. Well, I just realized that camera doesn't have audio, right? So we'll stick with this one for story time. I'll have to fix that. But story time, as you know, story time. Serving other people is a very important thing that depends on who you are. If you are, there are 3 types of people in this world, right? Those that are more action-packed, others that are more thinkers, others that are more feelers. I'm a feeler, so action-packed stuff isn't my favorite. It's not what I think of when I think of getting up in the morning. But, I remember maybe a few months ago, our church has a food bank, and I went and helped serve meals and pack rice and vegetables in these bags and help a ton of people. And it was really powerful. It gave me a sense of purpose, a sense of life. It gave me peace. So if you are more of a thinker, more of a feeler, you're not so action-packed, consider that. Consider serving other people in an action, practical way. Now, another thing that you can do to have peace in life is to partner with someone who is more action-packed. Partner with someone, a friend, a family member. It could be your parents, it could be if you're an adult, your wife, your husband, your friends that are different than you, that are more service oriented. You can even give to a cause online. You can go to an Instagram feed that you really enjoy and just support some of these causes that are helping people in need and get involved. Maybe you don't have a lot of money, but even $1, $5 can help you feel connected and give you peace. Another thing that obviously is sad is, those Caring Bridges links and emails that you might get from friends that are suffering. Consider leaving a comment and praying for people, leaving just a nice positive thought that you are thinking of that person in need. That way we can all begin to serve other people. Number 4 is the power of nature. Nature, right? Nature, animals, pets, things that you and I love. That's also very important in these times. When you spend time in nature, you can really develop a deep sense of peace. I'm not a nature person by by choice, or it's not my preference. But when I have done it, I remember years ago, I wish I could use my story cam here, but years ago, we went to Joshua Tree as a family, all 5 of us, and our children were small, maybe like 9, 7, and 5. And we went out at night, out to Joshua Tree, and we laid on top of the roof of the car, and on the just on top of the car, on the hood of the car, and it was just a beautiful time, just to look up at the stars and to consider God, how great He is, how vast the sky and the universe is, how small we are, how in control He is of life. Really powerful. Some people like to go on hikes. Other people like to draw or paint. It could be that you're painting about nature, or and maybe that's the 5th one. So let me go to the 5th one. The 5th one is things like art and music and live streaming and some of the things that we love to do here, a lot of us. There's a great sense of peace when you and I can draw, we can meditate, we can pray, we can do yoga, we can maybe write a song or sing a song, or just spend time alone reading a book or having coffee with your friends, or tea with your family, by yourself, if you're an introvert, if you're an ambivert, if you're an extrovert. It's a wonderful time in the middle of this mess to spend time alone and to draw or paint or use our artistic skills to really let that out. And maybe the bonus one is to look for coaches, mentors, counselors, therapists, spiritual directors and leaders that can help you to overcome some of the hangups that we have these days. I talk to a lot of people online and friends, of course, as I said, my wife and my teammates, and I have mentors. When I'm feeling low, when I'm not doing my best, I will reach out to people. And I think that these days, it's so easy to do that online. You have all these apps and applications that can schedule you for free to talk to someone, or download Headspace or some of these apps that are so popular and very helpful. Maybe watch a meditative video on YouTube or a contemplation video on YouTube. Anything that can, lo-fi, chill lo-fi music, which I shall produce. All of these things can be very useful for us, for you and I, to have a deeper sense of peace in your life, so that you can have rest, peace, and you can calm that mind that wants to just race and wants to tell you all these negative things about the future. And I think maybe another bonus tip here, I want to give you 5 tips. So the last 2 bonus tips, as I said, one of them is to contemplate, to spend time alone. But the other one is to turn off negative comments or news. That's something that will affect us all in a very, very, almost like, I don't know, it's like a curse when you watch and you read things online that are negative. And that's basically all we read these days. Turn off that negativity and turn on positive things. So for example, I think this morning even, I was reading an email and I shouldn't have, but I read a few negative things, just like 3 seconds, and that's enough to ruin your day, right? I turned it off, and then I got an email just from the local here school district saying some positive things, that numbers are going down, just stuff. I know that could be, I don't know, it could change next month, right? God forbid. But even just reading positive stuff, I call sometimes my friends and say, hey, let's say some good news. Let's talk about good news. Let's train our minds to talk about and focus on the good news. the negative news and the bad numbers and the doom scrolling is everywhere. Turn it off and actually be proactive. Talk to your friends about the good news. So leave me a comment below. What are the good news in your life? What are the things that are positive in your life? What are the things that you think, you know what, this is going well? This is not just a time to think about all the negative things or all the bad things that are happening, but these are the positive things that are happening in my life. What are those positive, comments or positive things that are happening in our lives? That's all very important. So I want to say hello to the comment on the screen. Let's see here. See if I can see it. It's super small on the screen. So I apologize if I can't quite read it, but let me try here. Let's see. Monica, yes, clarification, what I am supposed to do with my life. Yes, I want to leave my current industry, but where does God want me to go? Same with moving. Where are we supposed to, let's see here, move to? Okay, great. Thank you so much, Monica, for the comment and for the question. So yes, for the prayer request, thank you. I was just having a little bit of a hard time reading it. But thank you so much. So yeah, these are the big things in life. So we're going to pray for that. And then let me leave a comment here in the chat so that we can all help each other out, right, in these times. And so when it comes to decision making, which can be a time that we don't feel a lot of peace. By the way, let me fix that other camera that I was looking at. So just give me a little second here to do something here. So you're not going to hear me for a second. You'll see my lovely face, but you won't be able to see me. Hear me, but I will fix it here in a second. So okay, so now you can hear me. Okay, so now let's go to Storytime camera. So when it comes to that, those big questions, right? What do I do in my career, especially? I always try to think about very, very common things. And that is, of course, what are the opportunities? The opportunities. We all know, excuse me for moving this a little bit, we all know the problems, right? Oh, I don't have the qualifications, or I don't feel ready for this, or who's hiring. So we all know that stuff. But I always try to think about what are the opportunities? What are the opportunities? I often think about, as I say, a abundance mindset versus a scarcity mindset. It really is a mental game when it comes to work or moving or who to marry or finances. It really, we think it's about what's out there, like who isn't going to give me a job, or what am I not qualified to do, or I don't have the skills. But I have learned in my life that not only is it about possibility, but God is a God of possibilities. Now, what does that mean practically? Well, it depends on who you are. Like, I have a family member, one of our children, who, when I tell him to go out and get going, he thinks about it. And so if you are more like him, who likes to think things through, then you need to give yourself maybe like a deadline to say, okay, I'm going to plan and think ahead for a month, and then I'm going to pull the trigger. Now, I have other friends and family members that are more go-getters. So for the go-getters, you want to think about, okay, is this something, how am I going to approach this opportunity? How am I going to go after this? What are the skills that I bring to the table? And to try to write out almost like an online resume, or just a virtual resume, or to take some notes about what do you bring to the table that are intangible skills as well as tangible skills. So, for example, intangible skills could be, I love speaking in front of a camera. I love music. I enjoy coaching other people. So those are intangible things that I bring to the table. Tangible things, let's say in my case, would be that I went to school, that I have this degree, that I have these years of experience. You want to do the same thing. What are the tangible skills that you bring to the table? Now, knowing yourself and then writing down your tangible skills. The third thing is then, as we know, is to then throw the net wide and to try to be diverse in the net. Don't get stuck with just one approach to job search, meaning like just go online, call, go door to door, go to that place. When I was unemployed years ago, I literally went door to door to businesses in the area, things that I wanted to do, things that I thought maybe I can try this. I'm more of a aventado, as they say. I am more of a go-getter. And so I did my kind of what I'm suggesting here. And then I went door to door to businesses in the area that I thought would be good. Then, of course, I did the online stuff and called and all that stuff. And eventually it all came down to a couple of connections. Of course, it's always, right? You have some connections. But even that, it wasn't like I had huge connections. It was more of a friend of a friend of a friend. But when it comes to career, you want to think abundance. You want to think God is able. You want to think there's a million possibilities out there. And to try to walk away or to just deny or to ignore that idea of, oh, there aren't enough jobs out there, or I'm not qualified. All that negative thinking is what keeps most of us from pursuing our dreams. The opportunities are there because we see people online. We hear of stories of people that are doing amazing stuff. And I would say maybe a fourth thing is to bring your expectations to yourself. Learn from the rich and the famous people. Learn from the millionaires and the people that have all these things, or even your friend or someone online that you follow. Learn from them, but don't be like them. You have to be yourself. That is the best thing that you can bring to the table. And that's a hard thing for me as well. Even just the other day, I was in this meeting and I was feeling myself being someone that I'm not, overpromising, overdoing it, and I caught myself and I thought, wait, no, go back to being me. Go back to what I can do, my limitations, my boundaries, my strengths, and my limitations. And so knowing your limitations, knowing who you really are, writing that down, working with a coach. Of course, I'd love to help you with this. It's what I love to do in terms of career and purpose. Is very helpful to narrow down your possibilities. It's kind of a balance between being very optimistic and having, as I said, an abundance mentality, but also having some boundaries around who you are. You don't want to be with someone, if you are, let me just again say this, if you are someone that is more of a scarcity mindset person, meaning you think small, you don't mean to, but maybe just training or past experiences, you tend to think that life is out to get you or that nothing good happens to you, then you want to work with someone who is the abundance person, who is very optimistic about life, who can give you a million encouraging verses, or can walk with you in an encouraging, optimistic way. And that's what obviously most of us coaches and spiritual leaders, we do, right? We're here to amplify what you might not see or what you don't think it's possible. Now, if you are someone who's very big in terms of ideas and possibilities, you want to work with a coach that is more linear. And so when I was in therapy, I did it for many years, my therapist was very linear. And I had a few, and finally I landed on one that was very linear, kind and very, of course, gentle, but who would give me steps. And that's what most coaches do, obviously. So you have to know who you work with. Now, if you don't want to work with someone, you just have to know who to talk to. Talk to people, friends. You know how we all have friends? Only talk to those friends who really are going to help you in the way that you need. If you are someone who's more reductionary, who is more of a small, meaning you're more afraid, you're thinking, I don't know if I have the skills, if I have the time, if I have the experience, then think or meet with someone who is going to think larger, who's going to see things in you that you don't see in yourself. And as I said, the opposite is true. If you're a dreamer, if you're someone who's very expansive, work with someone who can give you a map, who can give you a blueprint to how to take steps. So what I teach in a lot of people that I coach is steps, is kind of a formula and 3 ways to achieve your dreams, or 5 steps to be able to accomplish or to get that job. Because if you're a creative, if you are someone who is more of a feeler, an empath, a creative, expansive person, what we need, and I'm one of them, we need steps. We need guidance. We need, as my father-in-law would always tell me, is you got to learn how to put that big train on the tracks. Put the train on the tracks. And that's a very good way to put it, right? Where you and I are learning how to put all of those amazing ideas and expansive mindset into something practical, to do the things that maybe you don't naturally want to do. I don't naturally always want to do my assignments for school. I don't always want to get up in the morning and work out. There are things that I do that are not that I love, but I'm gonna just he and ha and him and ha, and so I hire coaches or I partner with friends or whatever it is that will help me move or to put my great aspirations down on the tracks. And so, and vice versa, if you are more of a linear person, you're more steady, you're more day to day, un día a la vez, then partner with someone who's expansive, who's going to help you think about the possibilities. And yeah, Monica, it's that idea of putting that train on tracks. Very important. I like the little emoji there. It's very important to work with someone who's going to give you 3 steps. Most of the people that I work with, that I coach as part of my program, is they don't want me to inspire them per se. I mean, obviously we all want that, but they want how to. And so I'll literally sit here in my Zoom calls that I do with them, and I will have a paper and pen or on my iPad here, and I will show them step by step. It depends on who they are. I will draw a map for them, like Dora the Explorer, she had a map at the beginning of each show. And people love the map, the blueprint. I work with a coach myself. I pay thousands of dollars. I have paid through the years with coaches. And I love when they walk me through 11 steps, 5 steps, 3 ways, 8 ways. And of course, as I said, I love the inspiration, but because I am an expansive person who has amazing tracks are very important and vice versa. So those things will give you peace because they aren't maybe comfortable at first. They aren't necessarily our favorites, maybe, but they will bring you a lot of peace to your life. And mostly you'll accomplish your dreams, the very things that you want to do in life, to get that job, to get out of that relationship, to move to that place. My sister-in-law, she's our financial advisor, and she's the opposite of me. She is linear, very, very quiet, very few words, very very kind and super intelligent, MBA, the whole thing. And so last month we had a meeting about, finances and investments and all that stuff. And I thought it was going to be like an hour talk. I thought we're going to have some coffee, we're going to hang out. She just showed me a couple of things and she said, okay, that's it. Just fill out this form and sign here. And here's how you're doing. And here's what I recommend you do next year. And guess what? It helped me tremendously because it's putting all of this, Bitcoin and what about GameStop and all these things. And at first, when I first began to work with her, I thought, man, she's not that great. She just wants to reduce me, or not me, but, reduce our investments or think small. I've learned that expensive people, we need conservative minds around us, especially when it comes to money, when it comes to jobs, when it comes to finances. We need people that are going to give us a step-by-step approach to life that'll bring you a lot of peace of mind. And so, as I said, when I coach people, I will adapt. I'm definitely more of an expansive type, but a lot of people that come to me, they want linear steps. And I'm not going to ever be an MBA type of person, like a financial advisor. So if you need finance advice, I'm not your guy at all. I have someone that helps me. But if you are someone who needs tracks, who needs guidance, who needs a little bit even of tough love, in love and grace without judgment, then that's what I love to do. But learn who you are. And I would say then maybe another thing in terms of finding your dreams or being able to move out into your next big dream idea is to be patient with yourself. If I can just get into my heart right now, this is a time to go slow, my dear friends. This is a time to have a lot of grace for yourself. No matter if you are a feeler, an empath, if you're a doer, whoever you may be, you have to be in love with yourself. That sounds weird to say, but you have to be in love with yourself. What does that mean? It's going to take longer. Even if you are gung-ho, you're going to hit a bunch of circumstances and people that aren't gung-ho, that aren't ready to hire, that aren't ready to move with you, that aren't ready to, meaning to move into life with you, that are going to need more time and space. So it's very important that you love yourself, that you let God heal you, that you take time to have grace, to give yourself grace. And I would say now, I have another client that I coach. She is more slow, so she likes to take time. She does a lot of self care, and what I work with her is to do a little bit more of doing. And so it depends. Again, there are 9 types of people. I mean, there's a million types of people, but one of the things that I like to do is to talk about personality types, to learn kind of how you operate in life, how you show up in the world. And so I have a client that, as I said, she is more of a contemplative and likes to go slow. And I'm trying to help her to come up just with a simple planner, just a thing on her wall, a calendar where she can actually put things on the calendar. And I was, it's kind of crazy how what works for people. I was working with her this last week, and we actually worked on a calendar. You would have thought I'd given her $1 million. She was like, "Oh man, this is going to free me up to do the things that I need to do, and not just kind of think about it, or to be afraid, or to, oh no, I don't want to call that person. What if? And it just depends, as I said. And that's the thing that I love to do as a coach, is to learn who you are as much as possible, to have you express to me through different tools that I use, personality stuff and all that, who you are, how you operate, what are your fears, what's your mindset, what's your personality, and then to tailor make a plan for you so that you can move forward in your goals. And it could be as simple as putting together a calendar with you. And so I literally sat there with her last week, and we were just working on a calendar. And as I said, in my mind, I'm thinking, I mean, I literally have a calendar right there. And in the back, you see, I have all these calendars. I'm a calendar guy, but not everyone is. And so you have to know who you are, and to work with someone, or just simply go online. You don't have to work with anybody. I mean, I'm a big proponent of that. It's what I love to do. But YouTube, I mean, that's the education. That's where I've learned so much, because this stuff is so brand new, right? And so YouTube, programs like this, all kinds of things that can help you to actually accomplish your goals. Go to YouTube, go to Facebook. I can't stand Facebook because of the distraction and all that stuff. But YouTube to me is a great place, because you're there to research. YouTube is like University 101. It's the university, or the Long Beach City College, or the community college of the 80s and 90s. So I would stay away from Instagram and Facebook when it comes to actually growing and learning. And even though, of course, I'm on Facebook as well, I'm live streaming to 4 or 5 platforms. But you know what I mean. Your focus is different when you're on YouTube. You're not distracted by a bunch of other stuff. So, I mean, you are, but mostly you're research based when it comes to YouTube. Most of the time. Obviously, there's fun things there too. But Twitch is the same thing. So Twitch obviously is another place where there's a lot of things to do. But those things have brought me peace. And when you get into your heart, moving back to here to my regular camera, so let's see if I can switch back to my other camera. I'm playing with different things here. Let's see, there it is. So all these things can really help you and me to put, as we said, the train on the tracks, and to land the plane, as other people say. And, I think, as I said, we have to be very mindful of fear, of anxiety, of depression, of overworking, of overdoing it, of expecting too much of yourself. But at the same time, life comes, right? And if the doctor says something, or if you lose your job, or if you're just tired of this relationship, or you see addictions in your life or in other people that you love, there's a problem there, then obviously we have to take action, right? We can't just give in. And especially these days, there's so much sad and gloom out there that we have to stay above water. I was talking to a friend just the other week also. I have this mastermind, these amazing people that I meet with. And we were looking at these videos of things that are happening in Mexico, Central America, when it comes to pastors, and Daisy, the dog, is out there. When it comes to, just what's happening with this crisis in different parts of the world, especially in Latin America. And, after watching the video, I felt kind of down, like, man, this is bad. Daisy's out there, probably a squirrel. And so at the end of the video, I just said, guys, we need to be people of hope. Because no matter how much money we raise, or how much we strategize, or how much we want to help people, what people need ultimately, yes, all those things too, but they need hope. And that's what I want to do here for you. I can give you strategies and verses and songs, but at the end of the day, I think we all are looking for hope these days, right? Perspective, joy, gozo. I mean, I literally have my gozo head here. Let me actually bring it out. I mean, come on, right? Well, I mean, how can you not laugh with this guy that has a gozo hat on? You know, a piñata hat that I got from, I don't know, Big Lots or something for $1.99. And why do I do these silly things? You know, and people criticize me and whatever. Not many, but, you know, because we need hope, man. Joy. Though there's pain in the night, what? Gozo comes in the morning. The joy of the Lord is my strength. The gozo. Gozo means joy in Spanish. Gozo, not gozo, gozo, unless you're from Spain, I guess. Gozo. It's not gozo. It's gozo with an S-ish. Anyway, the point is, what you can do is be a hope bringer to people. Bring hope to other people. Bring joy, bring laughter. I have a staff meeting with my church, and sometimes I'll just play TikTok videos, you know, the good ones, right? The Christian type, or just jokes and things. It lightens the mood. Today at 1 o'clock, I have another meeting with some young adults that I'm coaching and working with. We just bring joy. I laugh with them. We talk about TikTok and about Discord and about whatever, you know, and if they come on the Zoom and they're on their phones, I'm not going to go and tell them, oh, you're terrible, or, oh, what kind of young person are you? These days, we need less judgment, less hate, less you're not enough, and more positivity, more gozo, more joy. So I hope these tips helped. Literally, my hat is not tipped, or it's tipped to the wrong place, but there you go. Share this broadcast. Tell people about the Gozo Man. If you would like to work with me, you can just click at the bottom or the top of this video and click on the link, and we can set up an appointment and begin to help you get to your dreams, get to your abundance of possibilities in terms of your career, finances, your goals in life, and to be the woman and the man that you're supposed to be. So thanks again for being here, and I will see you next time. Until next time, adios, my friends. Bye-bye.